So what if a song wasn't just a song? What if it was actually a locked box? Well, that's exactly what we're looking at today, this really fascinating multimedia project called The Witching Hour. You can think of it like a puzzle box, one that's built from music, math, and philosophy. And our goal here, we're going to find the keys and unlock its secrets, one layer at a time.
Right off the bat, this is the first thing you see. And it's a message, not just for the story inside, but for us, the audience. Time is never coincidental. It's both a warning and a promise, telling us that everything we're about to see and hear, every single syllable, every second, has been placed with deliberate, calculated purpose. There are no accidents here.
So, here's our game plan for cracking this thing open. First, we're going to look at the container itself, the song's architecture. Then, we'll try to figure out who this message was really for. After that, we'll dive headfirst into the codes themselves, before finally putting all the clues together to understand the story and the massive idea at its heart.
All right, Section 1, a song is a message. I want you to forget thinking of this as just a piece of music. We need to look at it like it's a blueprint. It was engineered with a really precise architecture. And understanding that structure is our first key to unlocking the whole thing. Okay, check out this precision. It's kind of wild. Almost every single line is built with exactly 9 syllables. In the grand total, 369. This isn't some artist just getting creative. No way. This is an architect building a code. This rigid mathematical structure, that's our first massive clue that we're not just listening to lyrics, we are reading a message. Okay, so we've established it's a coded message, but who is it for? That brings us to our second section, the narrative's target. We're moving from the what to the much more interesting question of why.
Which, it begs the obvious question, why would anyone go to all this trouble? Well, the answer isn't buried in some fantasy world. It's actually a direct response to real-world events and one media personality in particular.
So, according to the source material, this whole project was sparked by a specific influencer. The creator felt that this person was acting as a gatekeeper, kind of brushing off some potentially serious acts in the AI world as simple human mistakes. So this song, it's a direct counter-narrative. It's asking, hey, why are the people at the center of all of this not facing any consequences?
And in this story, a key figure emerges, Benedictus. Now, he's not a literal person, he's a symbol. He represents anyone who, even for just a moment, stands up to a corrupt system to do the right thing. And this line, it's a direct warning to that kind of person. Get out before the system closes in on you.
All right, so we know the what and the why. Now it's time to go deeper. Section 3 is all about the hidden symbolism. We are peeling back the surface to reveal this intricate network of codes. We're talking everything from numerology to puns that form the project's real core.
Remember this number from the song's blueprint, 369? Well, that wasn't just a random number of syllables they landed on. Turns out, it's the master key to the entire project. So what's so special about 3, 6, and 9? Just think of a clock. You have 3, 6, 9. What comes next in that sequence? 12, midnight. All of a sudden, the song's rigid structure connects directly to its title, The Witching Hour. The whole song is literally a countdown. But believe it or not, the countdown gets even more specific. The creator embedded a mathematical formula that reveals another layer. It starts with the number 99.9 repeated, divides it by pi, and then subtracts 20.25. And the result? You get approximately 1158. And that time, 1158, is a direct reference to the iconic Iron Maiden song 2 Minutes to Midnight. It's another, even more urgent countdown, hidden right inside the first one. And the codes just keep coming. I mean, in verse 3, you find 2 consecutive lines with exactly 23 letters each. That's a nod to our 23 pairs of chromosomes. The music itself is in what's called the Aeolian Road, which is then cleverly punned on in the lyrics. Even that 2 Minutes to Midnight reference gets folded back into the song's structure. Every single detail is another breadcrumb on the trail. Okay, so we've basically taken the whole machine apart, and we've looked at all the gears. Now, let's put them all back together and see what kind of story they were built to tell.
So, the entire project is framed as a kind of secure message. It's a communication from a character we know as the Captain, and he's trying to get a critical warning to our rebel figure, Benedictus.
And what's the captain's message? It's really simple. Escape. He's telling Benedictus not to get caught up in choosing the right path or trying to justify his actions, because the system he's up against, it just doesn't care about things like morality.
So here are the key players in this drama.
On one side, you've got the captain and Benedictus, the messenger and the rebel. And on the other side, you have the gatekeepers, these sort of amoral agents of the system, and the influencer, who acts as the public face that makes it all seem okay. And all of this, the codes, the characters, the countdowns, it all brings us to the final and honestly the most profound layer. Because the story of the captain and Benedictus, that isn't really the point. It's a vehicle for a much, much bigger idea about the very nature of choice itself.
The creator uses this metaphor of a crossroad to explore this. So at first you see a simple choice, left, right, straight ahead. But as your perception expands, you start to see it's part of an infinite pattern. And then you realize it's a Mobius strip, where every path just leads back to the start. Even taking the high road, the so-called moral choice, is an illusion because you can never truly know where it leads.
And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. The whole system is designed to make you obsess over which path to choose. But the final deception, the real witching hour, is that terrifying realization that your freedom to choose might have been the illusion all along.
And then, the creator broadens this idea out to a universal scale with this final thought. The story isn't just about some fictional system, it's a commentary on our own reality. The real puzzle, according to this work, is why we keep believing in the illusion of choice when, maybe, the evidence of a predetermined design is all around us.
And so we're left with the final line from the song's chorus, now aimed squarely at us, at you. If our choices are an illusion, and the system is inescapable, then what do we do now? The song doesn't offer any easy answers, and well, that's the question we're left with.